Are you ready for big changes in your life? Because eclipse season is officially here. Hi and welcome. My name is Brian from Green Gardens Healing, and here is your Lunar Destinies, Corn Moon, and Total Lunar Eclipse reading from a shamanic healing perspective. The first of two back-to-back Virgo new moon cycles is coming into its fullness and completion on September 7th at 2:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a full moon at 15 degrees of Pisces. And this lunation also brings with it a total lunar eclipse. Now, September is known as eclipse season because if we follow the natural calendar and not the linear time Gregorian matrix calendar that we're all unfortunately using, we are approaching the halfway point in the year. And this affects us much like the first quarter phase of the lunar cycle, meaning it's time to look back at the previous 6 months. Are we still on par for the year that we had set forth for ourselves? And to look forward towards the next 6 months, do we need to make any course corrections, adjustments, or recalibrations? Because this is the time to do so. If we want to make any changes, the divine forces that orchestrate and facilitate our universe, our reality, provide us with a supercharged window for making changes in our lives. And we know these junctures as eclipses. Lunar eclipses bring big changes into our reality, oftentimes with major endings and completions. Lunar eclipses are cycle breakers, and their effects have a 6-month reign over the ethers that reflect and charge our reality, meaning the clearing and intention that we initiate during this full moon will give birth to the beginning that we can anticipate to experience in March when we enter Pisces season in 2026. So, if you want to find out how this full moon and lunar eclipse affects you personally, you will want to find out which astrological house, 15 degrees of Pisces falls on your birth chart, and this will illuminate where to make changes in your life. And no matter which house this full moon falls in your birth chart, this lunar eclipse is initiating all of us into major emotional growth and awareness, meaning March of 2026, we will be living in a much different reality. What that reality will look like will largely be set in motion by how we choose to move through this energetic threshold and where this lunation and lunar eclipse is activating in your birth chart. As we already know, the universe speaks to us through repeating fractal patterns, symbolism, and cycles. So let's take a closer look at the symbology of a total lunar eclipse so we can really familiarize ourselves with the cosmic clay that we'll be working with. As you know, the moon represents our deep inner emotional body. This includes all of the emotions that we cyclically feel from time to time, as well as the emotions that we don't feel, including the suppressed emotions that we have maybe locked away or are unconsciously forgotten and sitting in an unresolved and infrequently accessed portion of our emotional field. And the full moon is our monthly reminder to take emotional inventory of our feelings, including those we may have forgotten about. And this is why people often get a little crazy and emotional during full moons. Now, this corn moon in Pisces isn't just a full moon, though. It's also a total lunar eclipse. So if we decode the language of the universe, spiritually and symbolically speaking, when we have a total lunar eclipse, a shadow aspect of ourselves eclipses and moves through all of our emotional fields, taking center stage in the sky and in our nervous system. That means many of those suppressed emotions that may have been locked away and unconsciously forgotten will be triggered and activated throughout the next 6 months, allowing us to feel, move through, and resolve these parts of our greater being, thus strengthening the coherence and presence of our emotional fields and our energetic body. And this is all happening in Pisces, the most sensitive of all water signs. It's also the last sign in the zodiac, so it bears more emotional wisdom, which will help us move through these changes with as much grace, fluidity, and ease as possible. As we all know, change is not easy, but the divine universe is really helping to facilitate us to move through these junctures with lots of ease and grace. This full moon and eclipse is conjunct the North Node, which symbolizes our future destiny. So, what part of our birth chart is being activated? What course corrections do we want to make in our lives? And what do we want to bring forth in our future? The more clear we are with these questions, the more effectively we can harness the cosmic momentum of change, and the more responsive the cosmos will be in supporting and guiding us through the emotional landscapes that we need to move through in order to experience our desired future timeline. If you need any clarity or help navigating these cosmic dynamics and what they mean for you specifically, I'd be honored to help guide you through this lunation cycle with a cosmic moon birth chart reading, which is currently buy one, get one free for you and a friend. If this is something that interests you, I would suggest scheduling soon because there's only 2 weeks left in this promotion. And if you would like to learn more about the corn moon and its spiritual implications and spiritual significance, you can watch my video on the spiritual significance of the corn moon, which will be linked in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this full moon reading, and I will see you in a couple weeks for our second new moon in Virgo reading. And until then, lots of peace, love, and joy. Bye, guys.